I saw one particular video that was fairly singular in its like exploration of this, but they just talked about in general. There was supposedly some cat that had showed up there where they're making this thing, and he wasn't there to work on this game, but he got to see a few hours of play, and he wrote some tweets about it. And we don't know for sure if they're real or not, and that thing. And so it's why they're not showing up like crazy. But let's just for a second say, like, okay, they are kind of real. And one of the things he mentioned is that there had been a huge attempt to make the world feel like it was alive. Like, and I think specifically on the NPCs and like sort of things like debris, cups, trash, like everything reacts, like your clothing, like kind of reacts to the shape of your body and stuff. And some of the things he mentioned were,
welcome gamers, non-gamers, PvEers, PvPers, and even NPCs. We are super excited. We kind of made a low-key promise in our last episode to talk about, everything that we know so far, everything that we're hoping to see in Grand Theft Auto 6. Let's get right into it. Grand Theft Auto 6, we're expecting to see an upcoming trailer, I think. Trailer 2 is going to be coming out soon. I don't know if you have any predictions on that, ChukTomahawk, on the second trailer.
It almost seems like if they say that they've confirmed that it's coming out in the fall, and you apply like how it went with GTA 5, I think it had 2 trailers and like a release trailer. So I feel like we've probably got 2 trailers coming. Like there's going to be a one more trailer between now and the release. So they got to get with it. Like there's not a lot of time left, for all that to be spaced out nice and, get the hype just right. So.
Yeah. It does. I guess a lot of us are just here with our thumbs, just like, what do they call that? Twiddling our thumbs, just like, what is going on? My original suspicion was that this month they would be releasing trailer 2. But, what is today? The 23rd day we're recording this. So I don't know how much, what is it, like 5 days left in this month?
Yeah.
I think it goes to 28 this month, right? There's not much left, so they could drop it. That's just my, that was my original theory, but I don't know anymore. I'm getting a little nervous with that one. They could just as easily release trailer 2 in March or April. I've heard other people talk about April.
Yeah, and you got to figure they're going to be a little guarded about any information because their first trailer kind of got leaked a day early, and that pissed them off a bit.
Dude,
I would feel violated. Yeah.
You feel violated. Yeah. Man, they do leak a little hard over there. Like there's some they got to tap up. They got to block up those leaks left and right, man. Especially and I think we're certainly going to talk about the GTA papers, I think, or what were they called? I call them the GTA files, because it kind of reminds me of like the Twitter files, but it's the GTA6 files. But I think it was properly called the GTA documents that were leaked back in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the biggest. That was more of like a dam breaking, I'd say.
Yeah. And the information that folks have extrapolated from what they got there is impressive as well.
Half of all of this amazingly cool stuff, I wrote down a bunch of my favorites, but there's a lot of confirmed features, a lot of confirmed stuff from that 2022 leak. Not to just totally just dive right into that, but the 2022 papers, the GTA documents, I don't remember what happened. I think and help me out here if I'm wrong, if you have different intel on this, but I think someone released a file in 2022, gamers got a hold of it, but I think one particular individual or group of individuals or whatever it may be got it and really broke it down and created an actual PDF document, a really nice detailed multiple page document. I don't know why I have the number 22 in my brain. I think it was 22 pages or something like that. Does that sound familiar to you? I don't know why I have the number 22 in my. I might be wrong, fellow gamers. Don't take that number to heart. But point is they dropped that file, and then gamers got a hold of it and created the GTA 6 documents. I think the GTA 6 files sounds cooler, kind of like the X Files. Remember the X Files, Chuck?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm deviating. I would like to look at this more of like from a semi-confirmed features kind of a perspective, because while that file did leak, and I think that GTA 6 or Rockstar kind of confirmed that it was a legit leak. I think they kind of confirmed that on social media or something. There was a post about it. I'd still look at it more of like, let's call it semi-confirmed, right? Because they can do anything prior to release. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to analyze. Like I think somewhere in my mind, I feel like the game, if they feel any confidence of it being released this fall, like it has to be done. Like are they not in the testing and looking for bugs phase of it? So, there should be like a almost complete, that's going to need some tweaking, like game at this point. Which, if you look back at kind of how like this process went for 5, I think the working title of 5 was called The Americas, and they ultimately intended to have like a couple cities in it and had to back away from that. And I've seen some folks kind of speculate that like this map is so large, like it's going to have to contain more than one session even, and their ultimate goal, I think, is like we have a map that has all the cities like San Andreas, Liberty City.
Dude, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, dude? Taking flights. You could take a flight from Vice City to Liberty City in like an actual like in-game plane, where it doesn't just go into a loading screen, but you actually like fly there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be insane, dude?
Yeah.
Well, if you want, you can just take the whole bitch down and just walk up to the pilot's room and be like,
well, and they're, kind of making your criminal enterprise, like there'd be one thing to be, the baddest in one city, but like to, control the whole world at that point, of sorts. But, so yeah, going back to where we kind of were with that, as far as speculating of how this release type stuff will go, like, just looking at 5, like concessions had to be made. I feel like, I sort of picture that process. Like they're doing it, they find this consistent bug, and it's like, if we just take these things away, that bug doesn't exist. Like maybe we're better off without those things, and
yeah. But what about that trailer 2? Gee, that's what I want to know what you think. Not the release date of the game. We'll unravel that, but I'm thinking, when do you think trailer 2 is going to release?
I feel like soon, March.
Yeah, you think like Semana Santa they're going to let us like, hey, here's trailer 2? Because as soon as they drop trailer 2, you know that everyone listening to this and everyone out there, man, they're going to start tearing that bitch up, dude. They're going to take trailer 2 and put it in slow-mo and just start micro-analyzing every frame. And then from here until release date, it's just going to get... It's like compound interest, man.
Yeah, and I just wonder as a developer, like would I want that? Like I guess any attention is good. Like I mean, if I let's say I'm making a game and I've got some like complex system where I've hidden when the release is and shit, in the artwork.
You've
and
seen
stuff
the moon theory, right?
And no one's and if no one's speculating, then what the fuck did I just do? Like this is really just for myself. So I guess they kind of want that, but yeah, dude, the level is just stupid. Like you mentioned, the moon theories and stuff are just
right. It's crazy. So yeah, that was trailer 2. It's going to be coming soon, and when it does come, we already know what y'all are going to be doing. You guys are going to be turning it up out there, and we'll probably be deep analyzing it too, and getting our hopes up, because it's going to be an insane game, and that goes without saying. We don't need to keep we don't need to say that too much, but release date wise, I have seen some solid theories from, enthusiasts, people that are really like getting into these GTA 6 documents and following the official announcements from Rockstar, and these people are like, dude, they're like getting into like the stock. They're looking at like the stock meetings, and when the investor reports are, and like and investor announcements, and they're like, taking all these elements and factors and be like, all right, well, if the mother company of Rockstar announced that they were going to be releasing Borderlands on this, in September, that clearly means they don't want it to compete with Grand Theft Auto 6, so that likely means that they'll be releasing, and they're just like, and it's just like when you hear it all, it's like, man, these guys they know what they're doing.
Yeah, because as a publicly traded company, I think there are like you can't play no games in that realm.
What's the name of the mother company of? It's not the mother company, but is it the mother company or is it the publisher? I feel like it's Take-Two Entertainment. Does that sound right?
That does sound right. Yeah, and people keep mentioning Borderlands is coming out, and like that's going to dictate. Some of this timeline, but yeah, what I started to say there with the stocks, like when you're a publicly traded company, I think like if like it's not going to release it, like it was obvious in your internal shit that like the SEC will not be happy about that. Like I'm sure some shit like that goes on, but like you can't play games with it. You know what I mean? That's. Yeah, and base your moves off of one set of information and then give stockholders another one. Like you can't do that. Like you got to be transparent. So that's why
stuff like that.
Yeah, they take that information and really figure they've got to be truthful here. So we can extrapolate some stuff, and maybe not so much that they're being untruthful other places, but I think I heard the term slippage. Like, there's always slippage in releases of games. But, like, you got to figure if anybody knows that, they do. Like, so could you not just make the day, like, put some slippage, like when I play golf, I play the slide, like I always slice, so I just aim to the left, like, and it ain't a problem. Like,
is it called slippage in golf? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
That ball slips right around them trees and lands over there, where it's supposed to, it's not pretty, but, so yeah.
Take-Two Interactive confirmed on that, Chuck. It's Take-Two Interactive Software Incorporated. It says here is an American video game holding company based in New York City. They own 3 major publishing labels: Rockstar Games, Zynga, and 2K. Yeah. So yeah. I like the release date theories. I feel like they're pretty solid. I feel like, Rockstar did confirm officially that their release date was projected on time. But I know, Chuck, that you have mixed feelings about this whole situation. You have from the beginning. Do you feel differently now?
I'm starting to have to believe, because it's been confirmed on a lot of levels, and part of it kind of being in, like I mentioned, in that stock realm. And always, like, throughout our lifetimes, it's been a smart play to release things in the fall, because what goes on in the fall is Christmas shopping. And a lot of folks, like, you might not make that big purchase, another time of the year, but if you're ever going to, drop a C note on a video game, that might be when.
That might be when indeed, dude. Would you drop a C note on GTA 6? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I do think, that's part of the story is that this may be the most expensive game ever, and probably like the light version of that is there'll be 3 versions of it. There'll be my prediction is there'll be 3 versions. There'll be a $70 version that is like the bare bones. There'll be another version that gives you like a few skins and shit for $90, and then there'll be like your ultimate version that, gives you a car or two and.
Yeah, like $100,000 right out of the gate.
Yeah,
you get some in-game currency,
a little bit of leverage right to begin with, and it may be, it's going to set the bar. Like I feel like there'll be a version of it that's $100.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go backward, but you did mention earlier that the map is going to be huge. I heard it's going to be 2 times the size of GTA 5.
It is,
And I know there's a mapping project.
Yeah, like that's what's amazing. People have took those videos, like figured out like what, because I think as those were shown, like from in that dev kit form, down in the bottom left of the screen, it had a coordinate system, and they figured out that they were using, I think, UTMs, like Universal Transverse Mercative. Don't take this as gospel. Like if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong here. But let's just say it's a scenario like that. Like they figured out what kind of mapping system they were using and extrapolated the data, and also like looked back at the Vice City maps from the past and like some landmarks and things, and started, coming up with some like data that showed. Whereas it took 5 minutes to fly across our now GTA 5 map with a helicopter, it takes 10 minutes on the new map, and yeah, it's a big boy.
I'm gonna take it as gospel, dude. That sounded sophisticated and smart as fuck to me, Chuck. I don't know, man. I'm taking that as gospel, man.
UTMs.
the UTMs said it. You heard it here first.
Yep, I failed.
It's gonna be twice.
Graduate level remote sensing twice. Don't listen to me.
Man. Dude,
no, it's not true. I did take it. It was
That's
hard.
right. I'm starting to remember now. My brain's starting to remember now that the GTA 6 files, aka GTA 6 documents, with quote unquote the confirmed features, included video footage and video gameplay. I'm pretty sure
it did.
Included a bunch of different stuff, right? Like there was a ton of shit in that file.
Yes, and I feel like one of the things like that people forget is like when I think of like you've got sort of I'm running around free mode GTA, and then you have inside a mission GTA, and like I feel like all of that footage, like we don't know like if it's free roam or part of a mission or whatever, and people see like something going on in there and they try to like apply it to the whole game, and I just think of like all the missions, like all that crazy shit in GTA 5 we went through with fucking Acid Boy and all like if
that was GTA Online though, right?
True.
Yeah, we got to keep those two. In fact, everything, I like to look at this as all single player talk, unless we specifically mention like online mode or what we might look at, like how that might turn out to be. Like this is all regarding campaign stuff.
And that's tough for me because a lot of my experience with GTA 5 has been online, so that's not completely fair. Like I haven't.
I think there's still a part of you and a part of me in the bunker trying to make money, man, selling weapons, growing fucking weed.
Dude,
what
the
are the
facility,
other ones?
Dude, I have a fucking rail gun that I can fucking kill someone. I should be rail gunning folks. The orbital cannon.
Keeping it low key, and you're like, I got a fucking rail gun.
I have an orbital rail gun, like not just one that you carry around. It's in space, like.
Dude, did you become? I don't remember anymore, but did you become one of those assholes flying around on a Mark II?
No, I
you wanted to though.
We got in that situation, like pretty much when you have Mark II money, you're kind of at the point where you're getting a Deluxo, you're getting that other fancy car that was part of the Cayo Perico heist scene that you and I both owned, I think, and
the red one.
Yeah, the red one,
oh, God, what was that thing
the
called,
Mark
Chuck?
II, and the Mark II. Everyone. Like we came along in the time, or at least I learned of the Mark II when it had been nerfed so fucking much that every time it was mentioned or I'd watch a video about it, people would bitch about the nerfing so much. I just would eventually be like, maybe I don't even want it, and I never went that way. No.
I refuse to purchase it.
Yeah,
joining that club.
I'm not a big griefer either. I have to say, my favorite part was kind of probably the nightclub. If I went and played right now, the first thing I'd go check on would be my nightclub. I loved my nightclub.
Yeah, the nightclub was pretty badass actually. just
the whole vibe.
Low key, just making money the whole time.
Yeah, it was mine, and like I could drink there. I had that like underground lab. I had all those different things. Like the deliveries from the nightclub are fucking.
The deliveries. God, dude, why aren't we doing this in real life?
I think that sometimes. And also, like, why are we not making a role play server for GTA 5? I saw, like, it was just this random podcast clip of this guy. Like, they were like, he was saying that he was making money off GTA 5, and they said, like, how did you monetize it? And he had a role play server.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, did you like come across some information about M5 like while you were like there's almost like a company, it sounds like I just learned about it in our research for this episode.
I think
it's almost
like
Rockstar bottom. And that does lead a lot of people predict like that's going to have a big impact on what GTA Online is going to be about. But you're right to kind of say that maybe we shouldn't talk about that now because like it's not coming when this comes. Like I don't think on day one like GTA Online is going to change. Like it's going to happen like as a part of like a gradual releasing. So it's probably smart to say that. But you definitely run across a lot of people like figuring out, and what they figured is people were making so much bank on those role play servers and shit. They wanted part of that action. So the thought is that they bought that company and now those people work for them and they're going to give us options to do it, but it's going to be through them. Man,
and I think this is one of those things that no one is really talking about out there online with the future of GTA. Particularly GTA 6. Not many are discussing this, and not many are discussing, from my point of view, what are we going to find? Not to jump ahead, but we can talk about this in a second, maybe if you want to, bro. Like, what are the narratives we're going to see in this release? But going back to what you're saying, man. So are you kind of like thinking that GTA 6 is going to have kind of like maybe like a server or a game-based kind of scenario where if you want to, like, let's just say you're in the game, you bust it open, you're about to play some GTA 6 and you go to multiplayer or online, whatever the tab happens to say. And then now instead of like just loading in to a pre-selected server and appearing in the game, you're going to have maybe like a list or something like that. Is that kind of what you're getting at with different mods? And
I'm not sure. I feel like when we were playing, you had a better grasp on how the servers kind of worked. Like, sometimes we would look for them together, but I don't know that I have a real good ability to answer your question. Like what I feel like is that it's going to cost money. Like maybe there's some way I can partner up with them. Like this, and where I'm going with that is like this particular individual that I saw, like was, he like in real life claimed to know a lot of gang members and he had gang members like playing as gangs on his server. And
damn, dude,
boy, howdy, they were doing a good job of it. It sounded like,
whoa, that's like deep meta.
Oh yeah, cause like it was like number one, it kept them off the streets and they were making money. He was making money, and it couldn't be any more real. Like like could
you imagine if like some random like
dude, that's like, always in the back of my mind.
No, but just visualize some random like random nerd kid, some random high school nerd kid playing on the RPG server, coming up to one of the gang members, talking.
That's, dude, I have a tiny bit of that fear all the time. That's why I'm not a troll. Like I just feel like there is a guy out there that's crazy enough and smart enough that could find me. Like if you really wanted to and you cared enough. Like you can kill somebody with a spoon, like if you're mad enough, like, you know what I mean? Like
just knock on your door, you in there, Buster?
Like, what are you gonna do with that spoon? Like, yeah, it's just motivation. So,
oh God.
Yeah, and you know how mad video games can make you. Like, hell,
that hurt my chest.
It frightened me when he was like, yeah, man, I got some real gang members. I was like, fuck, fear confirmed.
This is why I went back to No Man's Sky.
Yeah. It's why, like,
no,
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should get off of Rust. I'm just kidding.
So ultimately, yeah, like I feel like I went a little great offline there with your question. Like I do feel like maybe like somehow they're going to give us the ability to do that, and I hope so. Like kind of add more of a role play. Maybe there's some servers that are like that, but now I ain't gonna lie. Like one thing I saw.
Hey, fellow gamers. Hold on, I didn't come out right.
No, that's perfect.
We should just leave that. Hey, fellow gamers, if you haven't already, go on to Spotify, give us a follow and a 5-star rating. That would help us a bunch. We really need the support. It gets us out there to more fellow gamers like yourself. And yes, I will leave that blooper.
That's right. 'Cause we love you gamos. And kind of acted like different parts of the map were going to be on different sessions. Like and it kind of like the person was speculating that like they would load like seamlessly, like you could kind of just be driving and you would go into a different session, and you could see how like maybe certain things happen, certain urban activities happen in the city, and then there'll be like an out of town, more Florida Everglades, because a lot of people have speculated it's going to include a large part of Florida.
Dude, if you look at the mapping project, it's huge. And like if you look at it, there's little sections that are black and little sections that are red, and apparently the black sections are pretty much but confirmed, and the red is all like speculation, but really like well educated speculation, like look at fellow gamers, check out the mapping project. But yeah, totally check. I mean, I see what you're saying. And we won't even know it. That'll all be seamless to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
What you're describing, like,
it sounds like it, but like it may drive, like how that role playing works, and
so then just to kind of like, button this up, like, what do you think multiplayer is going to look like then? Just multiplayer, like, hey, come on, you don't give me that. I don't want to see that face. I want to. We need a theory. And real quick before I forget. Fellow Grand Theft Auto tiers, please, if let us know what you think. If you got a theory about what multiplayer is going to look like, is it going to be, even just from the name perspective, is it GTA Online still? Is it GTA6 Online? Let us know what you think about that. Let us know you think what multiplayer is going to look like, and if you think it's going to have this kind of like, server-based component, or is it just going to be what they've been doing?
And I think too, like one thing is like something this big, like it's like I play Ark nearly every day, and they're like they're role play servers on there, and I never see them. Like my point is like I don't look for them. Like I'm sure I could find them, like if I really wanted to, but I feel like a lot of people could play and never know this like is going on. You know what I mean? Like if that wasn't your jam, and you were mainly like a campaign player or story mode, but you dabbled a little bit, when you knew your buddies were around. Like I could see you not knowing. Like you got to be in pretty deep to decide, fuck it, I'm gonna be a policeman. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, because you were doing it the other day. Like I kind of like got an appreciation for it. Like we were playing No Man's Sky, I think, and you were kind of like having some pretty, little extra reactions, and you just said like, man, I'm kind of role playing here. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is a smart way to play video games, I think. Like, to kind of get into it. You know what I mean?
I was working on my bedroom. I was working on my bedroom on the frigate. It's like, this is where I sleep, man. I want it to look nice in here. You guys like, want to go do a battle royale? It's like, no.
No, I was talking about, I think earlier in the evening.
I'm just
like, yeah, there's just something like I said, you were just like oohing and on at something, and then, we were like, and you're like, man, I'm role playing. Like, it's like, fuck yeah, that's it. I like that. Like I maybe try to bring that into Arc a little bit. Like sometimes, just it's better. Than to be that cynical person that's just walking around like, I've seen that before.
Yeah. Well, it's, I mean, Yeah, we could talk about that. I mean, in fact, maybe we could make an episode about that and talk about that someday. But for sure, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But hey, dude, because shit, man, we're already 30 minutes in, brother. You want to talk about some of these confirmed features, leaks, mechanics, play systems?
Sure.
I mean, there's so many.
I have almost in mind like what stands out to me. You know,
Let her rip, dude.
I saw one particular video that was fairly singular in its like exploration of this, but they just talked about in general. There was supposedly some cat that had showed up there where they're making this thing, and he wasn't there to work on this game, but he got to see a few hours of play, and he wrote some tweets about it. And we don't know for sure if they're real or not, and that thing, and so it's why they're not showing up like crazy. But let's just for a second say like, okay, they are kind of real. And one of the things he mentioned is that there had been a huge attempt to make the world feel like it was alive, like, and I think specifically on the NPCs and like sort of things like debris, cups, trash, like everything reacts, like your clothing like kind of reacts to the shape of your body and stuff. And some of the things he mentioned were that whenever there's a large crash, that there's going to be sort of an NPC system that handles that. Like from first the cops are going to show up and you might run, but like if you were able to like leave a camera there watching that place, or you that come scene. Back through later through that scene, like you'll see a progression of ambulances, possible coroner showing up, picking up dead folks, taking them to the hospital, dude. Taking them to the coroners. Like then like you'll see road crews come and work like that. I think the ground obviously can be damaged a little bit, like not terraforming, but like if I shoot a fucking RPG into the middle of a street, it's going to leave a like a pothole, and like there'll be some crews that show up and put metal plates over that pothole, and then eventually
no fucking way,
yeah. and it kind of said like, you know, there's going to be some limit to this, but like say the world is destroyable, but not like wiping, like turn it to glass, nuclear bomb, like you can destroy like say 60% of it. And then, you know, there are NPCs that are going to come and fix a lot of that shit. Like you know, like, because I think like something that we can relate to a lot that happened in part 5 there online is like you could hit telephone poles and shit and they'd fly around and you'd kind of react to them. There was a hitbox there at first, but then they were just like, you just drove over them like they weren't there. Like, I don't think that's going to happen now. Like there might have to be a crane fucking show up and pick up that big ass piece of metal that's in the road. And like, dude,
that makes total sense, man.
To me, that's like, I feel like a lot consistent. Of that stuff though, like once it's in the game, like they realize that somebody comes along and like sees what happens if you create, you know, 150 potholes. And you know, like yeah, you wonder how like if these things can live in under the strain of just, you know, the masses of people that are going to do the dumb shit, you know, to see.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. You know, because there's gonna, you know, as soon as people get like, man, as soon as people beat the game once, from there forward, it's gonna be mayhem. I mean, hell, there's probably going to be players that don't even want to beat the game. They just want to go right into mayhem.
Yeah.
They're not even interested in like, what? Beating the game?
And it sounded
no,
like,
I just want to see if I can do this.
And the way this tweet kind of read, like it was almost like that guy was sitting there with him and he was like he was able to ask like maybe they mentioned to him there's some weather systems in this, like this is set in Florida, we have hurricanes, and he got to see a hurricane, like, and
okay, so that happens to be, sorry to cut you off, Chuck, but that happens to be one of those like confirmed features. I'm looking for the note I put down here regarding that, but yeah, here we go. There's going to be lighting, weather mechanics, heavy fog. I think what they're doing is they're taking the systems that they used in Red Dead Redemption 2 and you can and incorporating them into Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I bet they'll be even better in Grand Theft Auto 6. They're using their Euphoria engine, but
yeah,
I
saw some comparisons to that. like too, and
yeah, just the cloud densities and the weather. Like you say, there's gonna be hurricanes. I don't doubt it. And man, can you imagine that in a Grand Theft Auto game?
Oh, it'll be like I'll be making that delivery that I've saved up supplies for fucking 2 days, and like as soon as I get on the road, fucking hurricane.
Yeah,
that's what'll happen.
I can't believe how Grand Theft Auto has evolved. I've mentioned this before. The first one that I ever played was Grand Theft Auto 2, when it was still like a top-down game, and to see where it is now is just wow.
It is, man. I swear, like a lot of times, like as I would hear about these features, I would think to myself, like, man, there's a lot of cool ass features in GTA 5 right now. Like, why? Like, how did I get to a place where I'm taking those for granted?
Like, I know, right? We're like, well, I'd like to see this. It's like, bro,
I have a railgun in space.
And did I mention I have a railgun in space?
That I control from a bunker.
Where I make weapon shit.
Yeah, that I go to in my flying car.
After coming from my strip club.
My biker gang. Because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, if you describe to me there's a game where you can be in a motorcycle gang, like with you and your friends, like I would be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, because remember when we would, like, I would bring y'all in, or you'd bring me in to help on a delivery, and like we would kind of role play a little bit, and like getting those like jean
formations.
Jackets and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ride formation. I even forgot.
Continue that thought, dude. Continue that thought a little bit more. If you told me there's a game where I can be in a motorcycle club with my buddies, have a strip club, a bunker, several garages, and luxury apartments.
You
can keep going.
Sell marijuana, cocaine. Like I had a plane,
methamphetamine.
I had a fucking hangar. Like I had a warehouse,
a production company.
I had a CEO. Yeah, I was just a CEO. My life is so much better in there. Why the hell am I like working this life, this real one?
Hey, I need you. We all need you to stay pumped on the podcast, man. This is but yeah. I mean, oh God, dude, think about that. That's why. Hey. Better yet, don't think about it.
I do kind of have a hot take here, and it's something I learned about. Like I do feel like say this experience with other video games, like when you're in this speculation mode, I just think of Ark. Like we had all these ideas about how that was going to go, and we never talked about Bob's Tall Tales or any of these like fucking fantastic teams, like all these curveballs that we've been thrown since then, and had no clue. And they knew, like so. Yeah, I just feel like, to me, I get more excited about when than I do about what, because,
well, we know when. At least the most reliable theory of when is like mid-October. Early November is like the release window, I think, is what everyone's kind of like agreeing on based off of all the leaks and based off of the official announcements, and mostly based off of that investors, like quarterly investors, whatever thing where they talked about the other releases of like Borderlands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
do we need to start planning what we're doing? That's what I want to know. Like
no,
let's say that day, but what if that
dude?
Day comes? Like, are we taking off work, or are we tailgating that? Like,
oh no, dude, I'm gonna wish list it and wait till it goes on discount.
Seriously. Oh,
we'll see.
You think, yeah, I'm gonna give it a little way. It's not been that long to wait. It's not like it's been 10 years.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. It'll depend on how things are going. Because it's probably going to be 100. It's going to be up there, especially on the on release. We'll see. We'll see. But you mentioned earlier this theory from the guy that visited and then later made tweets. It's consistent with some of the features I've seen confirmed, which are, I'll just go through them real quick, like things like ragdoll mechanics are going to be improved. And then the thing that resonated with me up against what you said was improved AI systems, improved NPC behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a new police system with time to dispatch. There's a whole bunch of new little things like that make me not so surprised by what you say. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually a confirmed thing later on upon release. Like, like everything that guy said that he saw were true.
Yeah. I feel like, though, I could make an example out of, like I've heard people talk about a loot bag. But, like let's just say, like some of what he witnessed, though, let's apply this to GTA 5, and you go to the Cayo Perico heist. Like, I have a bag during that heist, but that's the only other time I've seen that fucker. Like, you know, it makes me wonder, like, you know, did they just see part of a mission and that not be an everyday, you know, carry type item for our main protagonist? But,
well, there's going to be walking in cover, going prone, which is a new thing. Loot bags, you're going to be able to drop and pick up weapons. There's going to be particular animations for when you're under fire. There's going to be an option to revive, shoulder switching, grappling, buddy comms, and a buddy ping. There's a new cover system, new car window shooting. So like now when you come out, like when you shoot out of the car, you're actually going to like come out and sit on the window frame and like be able to do like full on like shooting in all directions. It's going to be sick. There's going to be an eagle eye system like in Red Dead Redemption 2. You're going to be able to interact with objects and with people. Some of the new gameplay systems are going to be money laundering. And this is why I want to say, like, you know, these things are semi-confirmed because anything could change up until release. But apparently they saw these symbols in the GTA documents that were released in 2022 that had a symbol with a laundry machine and like money inside it. So that really suggests money laundering is going to be a thing. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
There's going to be car fence sales and art fence sales. So not like fence like a fence that perimeters your property, but like, you know, one of those places where you can offload illegal products to someone that'll buy them off you. You know, a fence. I like this one. Where is it here? Witness systems and police recognition, where witness descriptions vary. That's going to be sick, dude.
I heard some more about that. The example they used is like if you put a body, like you can pick bodies up and put them in your car, apparently. And that if your trunk came open, that suddenly the NPCs would start getting their phones out and taking pictures and shit and would have like an eyewitness type, you know, feature. And
so it seems like they're going to be able to, with various levels, make a description of you if you're like committing a crime or something, and your vehicle as well. They're going to be able to like describe to a certain degree what kind of vehicle you were in.
Yeah.
That's going to be sick, dude.
That will be interesting because you might have to take them out. And I saw like you might know, like I think you played a little bit of Red Dead lately, and I saw where they showed in there like how, like when you shoot an NPC in there, like say if I shoot him in the stomach, like kind of grab his stomach and maybe look at his hand, and like I don't know that that's in Red Dead so much, but they were saying it was going to be in GTA, like almost to the point like it's going to make it harder to kill NPCs because it's going to be pretty dramatic. And yeah, that sounds.
That makes sense with what you said earlier about just an overall effort of making things seem more real.
I heard
right.
Like, I feel like one thing that's funny is, like, we lose sight of the fact of the name of this game is called Grand Theft Auto. So, like, if I'd never heard of it, I would think it was a game about stealing cars. And, like, I saw that, like, there's a guy with a Slim Jim in part of those leaks or whatever, and people have speculated. Hey, y'all, it's Chuck T. I don't know how, but here you are listening to me. So this is your call to action. Need you to hit the social medias, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikTok, and put in at NWG Podcast, and you'll figure out what we've been doing lately and what's going on with the podcast, and that'll link you up and maybe get over there listening to it out there on Spotify and Apple and those kind of places, wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us a review. 5 stars is what I'm thinking. Even if you don't like it, give us a 5-star anyway, and we'll read it out on the podcast. So yeah, help us out. Give us some feedback. Interact. And if you take a notion, want to send us an email, you can get in touch with us at Ovox and Chuk at gmail.com. That's OVOXANDCHUK at gmail.com. Hope to see you there. People have speculated that it's going to be harder to get a car. Like now you just go up and elbow the window out, or if you really know what you're doing, you shoot it out before you get there, and it goes even faster. And it sounds like that might be a little more difficult to do. And
I think that's confirmed, man.
Yeah.
I think that's confirmed because you're gonna get a Slim Jim, and it's part of the confirmed gear is a Slim Jim, and then there's like apparently a confirmed like some sort of a computer electronic hacking device that will allow you to steal nicer cars, and I guess it's not gonna be just like an animation now, but it's going to be looked at more as an event. Like when you're stealing a car, it's like a mini event that you can fail. Did you hear that, dude? That you can
almost more like robbing.
You can fail robbing the car.
Robbing a convenience store is in GTA 5 online. Like it's kind of like a minor crime. Like you could.
No. Like you can actually fail to steal the car.
I see.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like if let's say you're using a Slim Jim. And you're like, it's not like sorry, Chuck, I'm making this weird motion with my hands. I'm making this Slim Jim. Just, you got the Slim Jim, right? And you're going up and down trying to find the lock in the car. It's kind of, my understanding is it's like you've started an event, and like you can either be successful in popping the lock and stealing the car while people are watching you, seeing you, reporting you, describing you, making a phone call to the cops. Who knows where you're trying to steal the car? You might actually not succeed in stealing that vehicle and being like, just, oh. Damn. And then, but you got the authorities on you now. So that's what I'm saying is like, it's not going to be as easy to steal cars, and you might even not be able to, like in some cases. It's going to be like a mini event. That's what I heard. That's what they're saying. That's the word on the streets, the Vice City streets. Oh, dude, speaking of Vice City streets and, Grand Theft Auto's tradition of just, what do you think about, some of the stuff in our recent world that they might take into this game and make fun of?
I heard that WhatsApp is in there, and it's called What's Up. Hit me up on What's Up.
Dude, I've got a theory, man. I don't know why. Like at first I was just thinking this as a joke in my brain. Like, it would be funny if they did this, but now I'm like starting to think that I wouldn't actually be surprised if they did like have some sort of a mission in the game where you got to go like fucking, go like march on City Hall, kind of like a January 6th type thing, but in Vice City. Where you like, because dude, there's apparently a game called the Far Right Militia, and I would not be surprised at all if there was a mission where you had to like infiltrate or become a part of this far right militia and go march on City Hall of Vice City and like break in and kick a bunch of like city council people's doors down and shit. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Because they're gonna take advantage of, dude. I bet you there's gonna be missions in there like quasi or directly related to like COVID, and gotta believe it. There's
Yeah. I saw that far right gang, and there's like a Haitian gang that maybe it's already been in some of the games before. Sand for Sand, I think it's called, and
Sand for Sand, the Guardia Bros.
Yeah, because I do feel like that's part of it. Like there's kind of like, what what do we know so far of these leaks? And then there's a part of like, what would we like to see in the game, and I did a little thinking on that. And the first place my mind went was like, I wish like going to jail was more real. Like for your crimes, like when you really get caught, I thought like I'd like to have to survive jail, and then it dead ends pretty quick, like and how you could make a game out of that, but like it did.
How could they do that? That's a great dude. That would be a radical feature.
Well, because you think about, you could be on parole, you could have your buddies try to help you escape, there's a few ways it could go, and honestly, we did a mission sort of like that. Remember, we took that prison bus in the prison, and so it kind of is in there, but me and Chat GPT bounced that around a little bit.
That would be a radical. Like if you're asked what would be something that you would like to see in GTA, in the next GTA, that would be a radical feature, man. Is for there to be more depth to the whole getting arrested thing and going to jail thing, because it's kind of weird. Like when you commit like several homicides, cause a traffic, like blow up,
rob a casino,
public and private property, rob casinos, and then you'll just go to jail for one night and then come out and they take like $500 or $1,000 from you. It's like,
it's
like, I know that they can't just like, break the game in that way, but they could come up with something.
And I guess they do kind of like penalize you a little bit of money. Your car gets impounded, and then I just pictured like a full jail system. Like I got to go in there and I got to like fight the biggest guy the first day, and like I go to the shower, I got to fight off some.
It's like make sure that you don't drop the soap while you're fighting another character with your one hand.
Trying to get some money on the books in my commissary and shit, so I can get some of that coffee and
some
ramen
cigarettes.
noodles and shit. I heard there are cigarettes in the game too. That's a funny little feature. Like you can smoke cigarettes. I heard,
but aren't cigarettes like a currency in prison? I've heard.
Absolutely.
That's what.
I think a few things can be. And some of
but
them.
I heard that too.
To
that there were going to be ciggies in GTA 6. Yeah. It's part of the confirmed gear, man. And there's just so many confirmed little things, from player counts to world activities, confirmed weapons and gear. And I guess just kind of wanting to stay on what we find to be the coolest stuff. I did notice that they were, I don't know why it caught my attention, dude, in the confirmed animals, but I saw that they were confirming the southern leopard frog. I don't know why that sounded funny to me.
And the skunk ape, I heard, got the Bigfoot, Florida Bigfoot style.
Yep. Dude, something that everyone's been wondering about is the enterable buildings. I've heard different things. I've seen 40%. I've seen 60%. And the only thing that I know is kind of like confirmed is that you're going to be able to enter the Malibu Club, pawn shops, the Jack of Strip Club,
Jack of Hearts,
supermarkets, bars, restaurants, hotels, and laundromats. Is like, so I mean that's really awesome. That's a lot more than what we're used to. But I'm kind of hoping, obviously, that the whole 60% enterability is true, because that would be insane.
I do too. One bit of information I came across that surprised me is that someone claimed that GTA 4 had more enterable buildings than 5, and I can't say whether I can confirm that or not, but I saw some more about that too. Like I want to say, like, you're going to be able to destroy like those buildings that you mentioned that we know you can go in, like whereas like in the past we could go in the gun shop and maybe shoot out the windows or something. Now you can do a lot of damage in there. It looks like not completely, like where it doesn't still exist, but it looked like you could jack it up pretty good. And I definitely want. I think it goes a long way to making the world feel real when you can go in the buildings and when you can it.
Oh yeah, and it's at this stage of the franchise, everyone knows in Rockstar that we want to be able to enter these buildings. So they know it, we know it, and they're working on it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, check this out, man. I want to mention all of these. They're not a lot, but I don't want to let them go by because they really are cool features, if you ask me. But you can now, or we're going to be able to surrender, because the surrender system's kind of janky in GTA 5. Like when you surrender to the police, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you don't really know which way it's going to go. But apparently they've really modified and made that better, the whole surrender system. You're going to be able to purchase gumballs. Your clothes are going to be able to become dirty. There's going to be hair and facial hair systems, like in Red Dead. So your hair is going to be able to grow, apparently. That one is not like directly confirmed, but it seems like that's kind of going to be the case, I guess. It's kind of like in the language. There's going to be eating and drinking systems, like in Red Dead. Eating and drinking. Mm-hmm. There's going to be events that are like cop traps to catch you. So like, let's say you're like, they're going to like try and set up like roadblocks, road traps and stuff like that to stop you, but like proper ones. I think they've had that before in other iterations of the game, but I think they're going to be working on that. There's going to be a new police system with a time to dispatch. So apparently cop cars aren't just going to like appear right there in front of you, you know? Yeah. Security cameras with a detection meter, like CCTV across the city. There's going to be like an ability to restrain NPCs, loot vehicles. There's going to be that advanced hijacking car system that we talked about, vehicle damage and handling, and I guess car interiors now are going to have a working GPS. And there's here's what you said earlier. There's going to be a whole like attention to detail list with the world, which is what you were saying. And anyways, that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I got. It's going to release on the Xbox Series and PS5. That's all. PC ain't going to get it out of the gate. It's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, it's a process getting it out there. I am super excited for it. I feel like it's going to be a long play.
What would be what you would really like to see with the game? Apart from what you already mentioned, which was the what was that again, Chuck? You mentioned that was actually a really, really good idea. Oh, the prison. Going to jail, getting arrested.
Yeah, I think, at some point, like when I very first started researching this, I saw some of the very first leaked footage, and it was Lucia, and I saw her like shooting at the cops, and for just a second I thought, like, man, it's kind of crazy that we allow this in games. Like, is this good to like, like some of the classic arguments, like, people that don't play games have done the past, and like, a few seconds later I was like, shit, there's a lot worse out there, or whatever. But my point being, to answer your question, like things that teach real world lessons a little bit more, I feel like reinforcing the fact that you can commit a shit ton of crimes and it really costs you nothing. Like, yeah, even though like we all can discern like, the transfer to real life or not, like I want that, like, somehow, like I want there to be real consequences for being a dick. Maybe if you're like a troll, like that's punished somehow. Like obviously
online?
The whole part of the game is causing problems, like being sort of a menace to society. So yeah, but being a dick in that world, like I want that to have some, consequences somehow. But yeah, so it's not a like I said, when I really start thinking those, I think, fuck, there's a lot of cool ass shit in GTA 5 already. Like more than I can like come up with, even like or have explored. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's a very honest, objective. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's a very honest, objective.
And I hope it's easy to play together. Like some of the best times were when we we're helping each other with our deliveries and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope maybe a little more sharing of items, like maybe like something, anything to facilitate playing with your friends would be my second wish.
You know what? That's a huge thing you're mentioning right there, and it's definitely, I haven't seen anything about this by any means anywhere online, so it's almost certainly not a thing. But it would be damn cool if there was a co-op mode.
Oh, where, to do the story together.
Especially if there's going to be two protagonists, Jason and Lucia, That would be so cool if like you could play 2-player mode or co-op mode.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
There's some evidence that that's the case. At some point, I saw something like where we could share certain things like heals and like I think they mentioned somehow there's painkillers and some stuff in the game, and I saw something to the effect of like they've kind of nailed down that Jason and Lucia are the two protagonists, and that they're kind of going to be more in a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. Like, so yeah, it kind of almost alludes that Lucia was a hacker at some point, and so maybe she's better at those kind of things, and Jason's better at like wielding a heavy weapon type. It looked like there was some uniqueness to that, and that might point toward co-op, by them being a team like that.
You'd think, right? But I haven't seen anything suggesting that. So, but man, that would be one hell of a like really cool surprise. That would be sick.
Yeah.
If you're to say again, like if you're asked what would you like to see in the next GTA release, that would be one thing that would be really cool, especially if they've got it set up this way. So we've got co-op would be really cool. More consequences for like especially in online mode, like trolls and things like that, or for people that go on just relentless rampages. We'd like to see the whole arrest system and like going to jail thing probably like have a little bit more to it. That would be really cool.
My fantasy.
And dude, I said this earlier at the top of the episode, but I would love, especially if there's going to be like multiple cities and stuff like that, I would love for like, because I remember wanting this back when the very first airport was incorporated, I think in like Grand Theft Auto 3, to be able to get on an airplane and take a flight to another city and land there without the screen going black and loading and everything, just to be able to get on and like move around in the flight and everything and then land in the next city, that would be so cool. So I don't think that's going to be the case with this game, but like if they ever do manage to do the like have all cities on one game, you know what I'm saying? I would hope that that would be set up in a way where you could seamlessly fly from one city to another and potentially take over the flight midway. Crash it in the dam. Yeah, a little hijacking action.
Fuck. I think about
and then, you crash the plane, everyone dies on the plane, and you get arrested by the cops, go to jail for one night, buy $100, and you're out the next day. Like nothing happened. Right? That's so bad. Jeez, that's so bad. I see what you mean, Chuck. I gotta work on that one.
I'm just thinking too of like I think of my lowest moments online, and they were probably when large deliveries got derailed, and that usually was by other players. Like
yeah. Well, we're not going to have to worry about that right away.
No,
it's going to be all about that single player campaign mode.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, dude. Dang, we've pretty much wrapped up an hour. Is there anything else you want to throw in?
I had made some notes here. Let me double check those real quick. I don't think so.
Dude, the NPCs are going to be able to walk together in groups and stuff, man. And they're not going to be just singular units. That's going to be so cool. It's going to be such a different game to... Just exploring the game is going to be so much fun.
It is going to make it
forget
alive.
just forget all the bad stuff.
I will add this. I did ask ChatGPT what would happen if ChatGPT took over the NPCs in the new GTA 6, and it went down like. And what I mean by that is like, what if whenever I came up to an NPC, it had like kind of like a language model in it, that it could organically respond to me, like that's what I really meant, and what it said was more that it would become more philosophical, that NPCs would ask you why they were shot and things like that. Like it was a little creepy, to be honest. Like one of the very first things it said is like that they would question like whether or not they were part of a simulation.
Chuck, dude.
I was like, yeah.
Every now and then you'll really just like get me like with a curveball and my jaw drops and my eyes open. Dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounded like I was headed toward the dark arts there. Yeah.
You're going to create the singularity by asking it the wrong questions, dude.
Better not go down this road.
ChatGPT, have you heard of this game called
It had, and it had some opinions. It was more like though, like human opinions of GPT. It seemed like you know, it kind of like yeah. I don't begin to understand how its algorithm works, but it felt a little bit like that. It almost seemed like what a person would say, you know.
Damn, man.
But I feel like that's coming though. It should.
Yeah, yeah. It's right around the corner for sure.
At least one. Like, give me an oracle or something that I go talk to, and you know, like. It'd be wild. and we would have the ability to change the program. Like you know, they can program pretty good, I think. Like, so yeah.
Oh, it's getting better and better too.
That's what GTA 7 will be, I think. So
well, there's a whole bunch that, you know, we probably skipped over. If there is anything that we skipped over that you're particularly really excited about, fellow gamers, please hit us up. Let us know in the Spotify comments or on the Apple Lyric comments there. Wherever you listen to your podcast, hit us up. We really appreciate it. Oh, and a huge thank you, everyone out there, for helping us get to, we've passed 11 reviews on Spotify, which is super sick. We're super grateful. Help us get to 15. That would be epic. It helps us get out to more fellow gamers like yourselves. And feel free to share, and we appreciate it tons.
Hell yeah,
Chuck?
For sure.
It's super cool. Like
Definitely,
I think Chuck spotted it, and man, it felt really good.
It feels really
Just
good.
to see that, see all you out there sharing the love. Keep on gaming.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Chuck.
Appreciate you, man.